Good morning everyone. Firstly, I just wanted to share with you these beautiful flowers that I have made. I was inspired by Roz, who is Crafty Mamar Papercrafts, and she showed us how to make them. And I know they're nothing new, they've been around on the internet for a long while, but I just wanted to have a go myself. But I was getting in such a state. This is the sort of thing I ended up with. I'd end up with something stuck, like you can see I've ripped this one off, but you put them together and they just don't fit properly, and they were just wonky and it was just frustrating, and I didn't know what I was doing with them. So in order for me to sort of make these, and I'm quite happy with these ones, as you can see, I can't really pick them up. I can go a bit closer, but they're all my Nouveau drops are drying at the moment. I'll give you a quick look at them all. They're all pretty similar, different colours, but same sort of thing. Anyway, let me just pop those up there for a minute and they can continue their drying process. Yeah, so I was having all this sort of trouble getting these. They just weren't, maybe my paper folding wasn't very accurate, and I know they don't have to be perfect, but I was having some that I couldn't even get the 6th petal into, and that was really frustrating me. So what I did was I made myself some templates. Now I've got loads of them now here, but I will show you with a 60-degree angle. Now in a minute I'll show you how to make your own template if you want to make it either mathematically or just using a piece of paper and a circle. But let me show you how easy it is to create one of these flowers with a template. So I've got some little bits here, and here are my things. I'll use that as my base. So what do? You put your template on and you look at either side here and make it roughly symmetrical. And I would say don't put your point right on the edge, just pull back a tiny amount, because that gave me the sharpest point if I was doing points. And literally you just fold it over. That is it. And then we'll do the next one. So put it on almost to the, I don't know if you can see, these two sides are symmetrical, point almost to the edge of the circle, and then just fold over. That is that simple. And then you can rustle up loads this way. I was finding it a bit fiddly trying to match the bits up, and that is literally all you need to do. The hardest bit is making the template, and even that is not difficult, and I will show you in just a second how to do it. But let's just make these petals. We've got 4. It doesn't even matter if they're not, you know, they're not symmetrical. I'm not that bothered about that. I was just annoyed that I couldn't get them all to sit on the disc. 5, and then that's the 6th one there. Okay, so that is that. Put some glue on your circle. I think these just look so neat, and you just poke it in almost to the, you know, right to the centre. If you can mark the centre if you wanted to, but you don't need to. Oops, because it doesn't even matter if the circle on the back is not central. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that I get all of these 6 petals on the disc. Look, how easy is that? And they all line up, and then you can just put your centre on. And I've just cut out some white card flowers with a punch, and I have used a ball tool just to give it a bit of dimension, push the middle in just so that it sits nicely in the middle of there, like that. And I've cut out a little daisy in a same sort of colour, green, and then I'd put a drop of Nouveau drops in the middle, and that is it. How simple is that? So whether or not I was doing something hideously wrong, I don't know, but I was getting frustrated and it was time consuming. This way is super, super quick. So here are my templates, and all they are just 60-degree angles. And I'll show you in a second how you can make your own templates. Right, to make the template, you are going to need something like Amazon packaging, or just some craft card, or something that's strong enough to hold a template, but not too thick, because I think you'll have problems folding around something thick. I haven't tried it though, so you know, you have to experiment. Now, the mathematical way of doing this is to think of a circle. We want 6 petals, so a circle 360 degrees divided by 6 gives us an angle of 60. You can get a calculator, or you can take my word for it. And the easiest way to do this, I think, is to draw yourself a line somewhere, doesn't matter where. Now, you can use your protractor if you want to line up. I'm going to down the bottom here somewhere, to line up and mark off an angle of 90 degrees, and then just draw a line from there to there, or you could actually do it either side. Or I'll show you an easier way, and that is to use your ruler and use a big division so that you can see clearly. Just line your division up on here. You can tell if it's not lined up. There's a massive gap there. Just line it up, get it straight, and then draw yourself a mark, because all you want is a 90-degree angle here for you to put your protractor on and use. So let's put it on here on 0. So line it all up like that. Work out your 60 degrees. Actually, it's up here, but I just prefer not to have that red thing in the way. Okay, so there's 60 degrees. And join your lines up from the centre to here. That there is your 60-degree or 6 petal. And you can just cut that out anyhow you like, as long as you keep these really straight along here, obviously, because that's your measured angle. So do what you like around there. You can make a fancy edge, a circle, whatever you like. That's your template ready to go. Now, if you don't have a protractor, or you're not mathematical, you don't know how to use it, doesn't matter. Cut yourself a circle. Use a die cutting machine. Use something like this you can draw around. Anything. A glass. It doesn't matter. I would do it on paper, and I'll show you why. You're going to draw around your circle and cut it out. And because you're going to have to fold this, I would say don't do it in card, because you won't be able to fold it neatly enough. Okay, so just cut out a paper circle. It doesn't really matter about the, I mean, obviously try and stick on the line, but don't be too fussy about it. And I hate anything like this, fussy cutting, so I'm just going to do that. That's not the important bit. The important bit is the centre of the circle. So we're folding it in half. That's the easy bit. Okay. Now, what you need to do is to bring one side in and the other side over, and you've got to try and get those as equal as possible. All right. Now they will go, but at the moment, because if I did it there, there's a gap here. What we need to do is make sure that everything lines up and we get a nice crisp point at the centre. So I think that's about right, like that. So basically we're cutting our circle, well, our semicircle into thirds, but if we opened it out, we'd see that we've cut our circle into 6. Okay, and that will give us the same angle, more or less. And then you could either use that, but I don't think it's strong enough. I would stick it on some card, cardstock, draw down one side, draw down the other, like that. That's your 60-degree angle in there, or your 6-petal flower, and then cut out your template. Okay, and then you can use that to make your flowers like I was doing earlier. Alright, now, one other thing I thought while I was doing all this and my mathematical brain was churning, I figured that you could make a 5-petal flower. So if you made a 5-petal flower, you would divide 360 by 5 and you would get 72 from doing that. So I'm going to set my protractor at 72 and do the same again. So I'm just going to draw a line. I'm going to line it up here so I get a 90-degree line to it so that I can line up my protractor. I'm going to stick my protractor on. Now I would say, sorry if my head's in there, it's really hard to see. There we go. I would say it is very difficult now to do the 5-petal one, make your template without using a protractor. I wouldn't know how to fold the circle into 5. This is going to be 72 degrees or a 5-petal. And then we'll just cut this one out. What did we all do before Amazon? And I'll just cut mine like that. And I will show you how to make one, but it's exactly the same method. You put your point on, not quite, you want it in the centre, you want to roughly have equal amount either side, not quite at the edge. Fold your paper over, your card, whoops, and you just need to do it 5 times this time. And again, you can use paper to do this, you don't need to use cardstock. I've used cardstock, but I think if you did it with paper, they'd be even easier to fold. Okay, so that's 3. You can see how quickly you can make these. 4 and 5. And mine, I haven't looked very carefully, but some of them are not quite in the centre. Doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll turn that. Oh, it doesn't matter, does it? Let's just put some glue on here. I thought it might make it easier to see if it wasn't the pattern, but I don't know if it helps. But it's just the same as the others, except you've only got 5 petals. Roughly in the centre, line them up. Like that. That's the glue is sticking to me. Up there, and the last one in there. Just got to put those down a bit. There we go, that's it. Easy as that. Alright folks, well I hope that was helpful. I desperately wanted to create these flowers, but I was getting such a pickle. This way for me just made it nice and simple, and I hope it helps it for somebody else as well. So thanks for watching. Have fun making your flowers, have a lovely weekend, and I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.